This is KVUE News Night Beat.
Right now at 10, demanding accountability after medical records show a little girl may have been sexually assaulted and school police closed the case. Investigations into 4 different school threats. Parents talk about campus safety. And battle at the Capitol, why a state lawmaker is refusing to eat until Wednesday. We begin with breaking news at 10. A house fire leads to a SWAT standoff in East Austin. Authorities say the fire started around 9 o'clock on Willow Street near Cesar Chavez Street. Firefighters put out that fire. They say a man in the house who authorities say started it asked them to leave and had a gun. A SWAT team shortly arrived to the scene. Right now, officers say there are no injuries at this time. We're waiting on a news conference for more information about that. What happened to a 4-year-old girl at a South Austin elementary school is still a big question tonight. Her mom believes she was sexually assaulted at Boone Elementary School back in February. The Night Beat's Brandon Jones joins us. And Brandon, the parents basically alerted Travis County prosecutors about this incident.
Yeah, that's right, Mike. You know, the parents visited prosecutors, their office there with medical records in hand there. And those reports came from Dale Children's Medical Center, where doctors say the little girl had injuries consistent with a sexual assault. Now, right now, the parents and their attorney want school officials to show some kind of accountability.
I could not believe what I was seeing, and I was trying not to freak out in front of her.
This mother, who wants to remain anonymous, describes the moment her 4-year-old daughter came home from Boone Elementary School February 7th.
Somebody knows something, and nobody is saying anything.
Frustration is her reality right now. She says that day she noticed injuries to her daughter's pelvic area. The worried mom took her daughter to Dale Children's Medical Center that same day, where this medical report shows doctors concluded it appeared the little girl had been sexually assaulted. The mother says she requested meetings with her daughter's teacher to explain this situation. So far, that hasn't happened. So she alerted Travis County prosecutors. Right now, Travis County prosecutors are reviewing the case.
So beyond frustrated and heartbroken, just my hands are tied, and my daughter is only 4, and I feel like I am her voice. She and I need closure.
Now, AISD did initially investigate, but Police Chief Eric Mendez recently admitted investigators made a mistake there, calling the allegation unfounded and closing the case without ever getting the girl's medical records. Now, as for that little girl, her mom tells us that despite what happened, she is in good spirits tonight. Right now, the family will continue to monitor her to make sure she's okay. Mike.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Austin police say get ready to see more cops throughout the city. The officer shortage is about to be over. APD says it's seen a sharp increase in applications, so much so they had to cut off the process early. From December to last month, they received more than 1,400 applications, with a lot of interest coming from millennials. Right now, the department is down 150 officers, but with this surge in interest, it expects to be fully staffed by early next year. Continuing coverage tonight of an active shooter inside a North Dallas office building. Dallas police say an employee killed his boss and then shot and killed himself. It happened just before 11 this morning at a high-rise office building on the 7th floor, but witnesses heard gunshots throughout the building.
People from floor 8 that were right above where everything happened, they were extremely panicked. Women were crying, scrambling down the stairwell, almost knocking each other over.
Police have not released the names of the dead or a motive at this point. You may have seen extra police patrols outside your child's school today, and that's because somebody threatened not 1, but 4 campuses in one day. The Night Beat's Tina Shively is in the newsroom with details. Tina?
Well, Mike, AISD sent a letter home to parents of students at 4 South Austin campuses, each one targeted by a terroristic threat on Friday, according to police. The letter from the district says an Aikens student threatened Aikens and Bowie high schools and Betachek and Paredes middle schools. AISD police were able to identify that student. One mom I spoke to said she got a call from the district about the threat on Friday while she was picking up her son after work.
It's worrisome as a mother. Public school is a place your children, you send them to and you think they're safe. And it seems like things like this are happening more and more often.
Soto hopes that the district will deal with the situation appropriately to discourage this type of thing from happening again. The Aiken student was detained on a charge of making a terroristic threat. Now, AISD did not answer my questions about the nature of the threat and what has since happened to that accused student. In the newsroom, Tina Shively, KVUE News Nightbeat.
What a fantastic day it was out there for today. Temperatures rose to right around 80 degrees, and now we're dropped into the upper 60s in several locations. Here's what it looks like downtown. Just a fantastic evening. If you are headed out for it tonight, no clouds, no rain showers expected. 68 at Bergstrom, 71 at Camp Maybury, 71 in Bastrop, 66 in Lockhart. Temperature's going to drop a few more degrees by the time we're all said and done. Waking up tomorrow, as I said, clear skies expected for the rest of tonight. Temperatures into the mid-60s, low to mid-60s. A lot of sunshine for tomorrow. The heat really building in. We're expecting several 90-degree days in the forecast for the rest of this week. That 7-day coming your way in a few minutes, Mike.
All right, Nathan. See you in a bit. Lobos and his handler land another drug bust. The Fayette County Sheriff's Office says it happened on Interstate 10 near the Flatonia exit. Lobos sniffed out about 15 kilos of cocaine inside a toolbox within a floor compartment of a truck. That translates into more than $1.5 million. The driver had his wife and 3 kids in the car. He was arrested. Only 4 days remain until the government is forced to shut down. Members of Congress are trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Legislators must pass a $1 trillion spending bill by midnight Friday. President Trump wants it to include the proposed U.S.-Mexico border wall. He wants taxpayers to pay for it first and then Mexico to pay us back. But opponents are urging the president to back off of his demand. In the meantime, Congress is working on a bill to fund federal agencies through September 30th. The end of the fiscal year. Mayor Steve Adler and hundreds of mayors across the country are to meet with Attorney General Jeff Sessions tomorrow to discuss a variety of public safety issues. In anticipation of his trip, Mayor Adler published an op-ed saying his focus is immigration. The Nightbeat's Jason Puckett joins us with a rundown on that. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Mike, you know, Mayor Adler's message made his mission pretty clear. He says he's going to D.C. to ask Attorney General Sessions for a solid definition of what exactly a sanctuary city is. Adler begins his op-ed with an explanation. On Tuesday, he says, I'm joining a few mayors in Washington, D.C. to ask Attorney General Jeff Sessions what is turning out to be a complicated question. What exactly is a sanctuary city? He goes on to say that he believes it's currently unclear. For instance, Travis County and Austin specifically don't fall under most current definitions of a sanctuary city. We do comply with all federal laws about communication between government agencies. We weren't one of the cities to receive a letter from Attorney General Sessions last week demanding proof of that communication. And while Adler admits we don't comply with ICE detainer requests, he writes that, quote, requests are just that, requests, and holding undocumented immigrants without a warrant is purely voluntary. And that's why Adler wants to clarify the term. He says none of the existing definitions seem to fit Austin, yet back in February during heightened ICE raids, our county had one of the highest arrest rates of undocumented immigrants in the country. Adler ends his article by stressing that, quote, asking local police to appear as federal immigration agents destroys trust. We know what keeps our city safe, and we're happy to share what we've learned. And those mayors are set to give a public response after that meeting tomorrow morning. Mayor Adler also, we're told, will be talking publicly about it once he's back in Austin Wednesday. For now, here live in the newsroom, I'm Jason Puckett, KVUE News Nightbeat.
A Dallas lawmaker is calling on divine intervention in the battle over sanctuary cities. The Texas House is set to vote on SB 4 Wednesday. Representative Victoria Niave, who opposes the bill, is fasting until then. The last thing she had to eat, she says, was communion at church yesterday, and she says the only thing she'll have until the vote is water. She's not alone. Fort Worth Representative Ramon Romero, who sits next to her, decided to join her in the fast.
We know that we don't have the votes to defeat this bill, the Sanctuary Cities bill, and so I wanted to do something that would help bring attention to how bad this law will impact our families in our state. And so for me, that was doing it spiritually.
God can move mountains. I think he can move a few hearts. And it doesn't take that many hearts to be moved in order for this to change. Everything inside
SB 4 is expected to pass on party lines, but Romero says Democrats need just 21 votes to keep it from passing. The bill will require all Texas law enforcement honor ICE detainers which are now voluntary requests to hold somebody while their immigration status is investigated. Rumors that the EPA website is getting shut down. We verified the claims. Plus, this Little League sign getting a lot of attention on social media. And later in sports, Mike Barnes goes one-on-one with Trent Dilfer. The former Super Bowl winning quarterback tells us about the transition to TV and why he never reads the teleprompter.
Officially at Camp Mabry and at Bergstrom, we hit 82 degrees. That's about average, exactly. 44 degrees was the low temperature at Bergstrom this morning. Mabry at 48, the coolest temperature we've seen in 6 weeks, just about. The full forecast coming up.
That was very short.
All right, so my one shot is
on one. You're going to start on two. So 2 to 1, and then Michael on 6.
Oh, so my single shot's on 2.
Yes, sir.
And the 2 shots on 1.
On 1, yeah, because he's sitting there.
Okay.
Mike, we went right to the source on this one, the EP.
KVUE wants to help you figure out what's real on social media and what's fake. We call it Verify, and we're working to weed through the viral sensations on your feed. Gaining traction on Twitter, a claim that the Trump administration was shutting down the EPA's website this Friday. The Night Beat's Michael Perchik went to verify this story. Michael, what'd you find out?
Mike, we went right to the EPA. While the agency posted an update through its verified Twitter account, we decided to take it one step further. We followed up with John Conkis, the Deputy Associate Administrator for Public Affairs, to find out more information. Now, earlier today, people began posting screen grabs, which appear to be pop-ups stating that opendata.epa.gov would shut down on Friday, April 28th. That site lists readily available information on a variety of environmental issues free of charge to the public. Now, to combat the hysteria, the EPA's official Twitter account wrote, quote, "Rumors about the website opendata.epa.gov are wrong. It's open, working, and not going anywhere. This website and the EPA belong to you." So how did the pop-up happen in the first place? That's what we asked Conkis, who told us, quote, "This was a contractor sending inappropriate and unauthorized communications on EPA's behalf. The website isn't going anywhere." Now, while that would appear to shut the case, we noticed one weird thing. We tried logging on to opendata.epa.gov through multiple browsers and multiple devices and arrived at this error message. So we followed back up with Conkis, who attributed the statement to fellow EPA spokesperson J.P. Frary. He writes, quote, "Unfortunately, due to interest in and panic from the hoax story about this website from earlier in the day, the site server has suffered technical problems. We are working to make the OpenData website open/great again." Tonight, we can say reports of opendata.epa.gov going dark are false. I'm Michael Perchik, KVUE News, Night Beat.
All right, thanks a lot, Michael. A lot going on there at the EPA today.